Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. Sorry I've been away. I'm currently 4 days away from completing 11 days in a row at work. So it's been a month, y'all, but we are so close to opening the new theater, so hopefully I will have much more time after this month is over. Anyway, I needed some new shrinky-dink paper, and I saw on Amazon they had this kit, a shrinky-dink kit, and so I went ahead and got it. It was the same price as just the plain paper, and it came with a bunch of stuff. So let's go through it together. Obviously I've already opened it. So it came with these colored pencils. I have not tried these. I prefer to use markers, like paint markers, for my shrinky-dinks. But yeah, I don't know. There is a little artist in the house. My housemate's eldest daughter is also an artist, so I'm gonna actually give these to her to try out. It also came with a hole punch for your shrinky-dinks to make keychains out of them. It came with a little pair of scissors, not the greatest, but you know, not bad either. Let's see what else is in here. It came with a very nice pair of tweezers. It came with a little baggie of jump rings, a set of keychain thingamabobbers, whatever those are called. Also, the little phone ring thing. I don't know what you call these, but they're what you would put like on your, like a phone charm cord and clasp. And then it came with all of the paper, including some with designs printed on them already. So we've got, and these are, again, shrinky-dinks are aimed towards kids, so they're very kid-like, you know, but like the cat and the pig are so cute, and the little robot, like this would be great for Christmas, you know. So like it doesn't have to only be for kids, right? Here's one with circus animals, very cute. And you don't have to use these. I just figured because it came with all this stuff and it was the same price as just the paper, why not, you know? This one, I really like the owls. I think the owls are so stinking cute. And there's a cute little turtle. Some flowers, butterflies. I really like that key as well. And then the last page that it came with print on it, was this one. And so if you are from Emma's Spooky Astronaut School Club, then you know why I picked this one to color first. I just think it's so stinking cute. And for this I used the Let's Resin acrylic paint markers. And if you don't know, you color on the back. The back is the side that you actually color. And then you cut it out, shrink it down, and you've got your little design. But I needed some more shrinky-dink paper, and it came with a lot. Does it say how much it came with? I don't think so. It'll be listed in the description box below if you are interested in shrinky-dinks. But I got all of this with the specific goal in mind to make bookmarks for my boys. And I had printed out this beautiful bookmark template. It's a little bit longer. It was a little bit longer than the page, but that's okay. I can just, you know, cut it off. And so my plan is to trace the bookmarks onto the shrinky-dink paper. I guess we'll do it this way so it all fits in there. And then color it in, cut it out, and make bookmarks for my boys. So that's what we're gonna do today. And then we're also gonna top it with a thin layer of UV resin, just to keep the paint from rubbing off or scratching off or anything like that. So yeah, that's today's project. It's a little simple, but I'm gonna have a lot of fun doing it. Sorry if you can hear somebody in the background. That's the eldest daughter playing video games and trying her hardest not to be loud, and I appreciate that. So anyway, I'm gonna get all set up. I've got all of my markers ready to go. What color is that? Is that black or brown? I can't tell. I think that's black. Okay. Get all my markers and my straight edge, and we'll begin. I'm going to do a time lapse of the coloring process so you guys can see that, and it'll be nice and sped up. Okay? All right. Friends, so the bookmarks are done. Finished coloring them. So this is the colored side. So you can see how clean it looks on this side. So this will be the front, obviously. Here's the other one. I think this is the one that I did off camera. Yeah, pretty sure. But I also colored in some of the pre-designed ones. So we got a little spaceship and some planets that turned out really cute. I also am working on a small project for some friends, and so I made little ghosties. I made a whole bunch. These are just the ones that I cut out for video purposes. And for these, as well as this little rocket ship, I did not use the hole puncher that came with it. What did I do with it? I put it somewhere. Is it over here? No. I don't know what I did with it. Oh, yes I do. It's right here. So this is the hole puncher that came with it, but it punches like a large hole. And the little ghosties are so small that it would have taken their entire face off. So I went and grabbed yet another piece of hoarder memorabilia from my scrapbooking, or well, paper crafting days. I was never a scrapbooker. And I got the crocodile because this has the standard side for hole punches, but it also has this smaller one. So that's what I used for the smaller pieces. I'm trying to decide now if I want to add one to the bookmarks so that there can be a tassel on them. I think I might. Yeah, I think I might. So, while I have you guys here, I guess this will be the top. Let's go ahead and add a tassel hole for the bookmarks. Yeah, sure. We'll do this side. There we go. So that way we can add a tassel to the bookmarks. I've also got some silver letters because I'm going to put these onto the bookmarks with the names after I shrink them. So the next step is to shrink them. I would suggest if you're going to do this craft and you need to shrink stuff, do not do it on a silicone mat. They will warp and bubble. Don't ask me how I know. So, I'm gonna grab a stick like this for the bigger ones because I can put this at the hole and it'll hold it pretty steadily. But for these, I'll probably use a toothpick. And I've got my heat gun ready. So I'm gonna go ahead and shrink a couple of these on camera just to see how they turn out. I've never made shrinky-dinks with the coloring done before I shrink them, so I'm worried that I've just colored all of these and it's gonna turn out terrible and not shrink, but we're gonna see. So let's go ahead and shrink a couple of things. Let's do this. And I'm going to mute this part and speed it up just a little bit and add some sounds so that way it's not super loud in your ears and you don't have to sit here and listen to it this whole time. I also want to adjust this so that I'm not using heat over that little plastic piece. Okay, here we go. Okay, so you'll notice that it does curl in on itself as it's heating up and shrinking. Don't worry about it. Trust the process. Just wait until the shrinking is done. And then I'm putting something flat over top of it so that I can flatten the piece out after it's done shrinking. This is just one of my silicone molds that I grabbed, but it does the trick really well. It will probably be pretty hot, so just be careful if you go to grab it or touch it. But I will say that that was a gigantic success. The paint did exactly what I hoped it would. It stayed right in place. Yeah, I'm super happy with that. So, I don't know if I want to film the entire process for everything. I might just leave it here because this is, yeah, we'll leave it a short video. You guys get the point. I also, before I put the gun to it, I did hold it off screen and let it heat up pretty well before I put it to the shrinky-dinks. So I'm gonna go ahead and shrink the rest of these off camera, and we will be back for the letters and then the resin that we're gonna do. Okay? All right, hang tight. All right, friends, we have had some successes and some not so successes. The bookmarks. Yeah, I think they were just too big. Because I've only got the heat gun and I'm not putting them into like a toaster oven that a lot of people use. You can't heat the entire thing up equally. So by the time I'm curling or shrinking this part is cooled down already, which meant that it stuck to it. I tried to reheat and reheat and reheat. It just did not go well. This one was even worse. So that's a bummer. I'm gonna have to figure out something else to do. But I did have some successes. And these are the other little pieces that I had. And just look at how teeny tiny that ghost is. It is so adorable. And yes, that's a skeleton astronaut. It's for spooky astronauts. Part of the Ghoul Club. But anyway, these turned out so cute. I'm gonna keep going with the ghosts because I am planning to make a whole bunch of little charms for some of my friends who are making charm bracelets. But let's talk about how you finish these off, or how I would, and I'm going to. I'm going to turn all of these over. So for Shrinky Dinks, you have the shiny side and then the textured side. And the textured side is the side you're going to color. I'm going to turn all of the texture side over. So that's the side with all of the ink on it. And I'm going to use a little bit of UV resin just on the back of all of these. So that way it locks in the ink, the paint, because you don't want this rubbing off, especially if you have it on like a keychain or a book bag. Eventually it will rub off. So I'm gonna lock it in. I've got my Total Boat UV resin. I'm gonna do that off camera and cure it. You guys don't need to watch me do that. You know how to do that kind of stuff. And then stay tuned for the glamour shots, because I'm telling you, these the little ghosts are just too precious. And I'm excited to see how everything turned out. But anyway, that is today's video. Sorry it's a little weird, it's a little off. But I hope you enjoyed it anyway. If you did, please let me know by hitting the thumbs up button. Really helps out my channel, helps me to grow. Also, if you are new, stick around by clicking the red subscribe button and ringing the bell for notifications. Thank you guys so very much for watching, and I hope that you have a fantastic day. Take care.